What's good, YouTube? Your boy 21 here, bringing you my Side Deck Corner episode 2, talking about my top 5 picks for now that we know what the format is for the current format. I'm gonna start off this Side Deck discussion video talking about DD Crow. DD Crow, as you all know, is an old Side Deck card that basically reads: ditch it from the hand, banish one card from the graveyard. This card is very powerful. The decks it touches this format, it can touch potentially spellbooks. When they activate the fate during like a main phase 1, you can pitch the crow to mess up their targets. You can also pitch the crow on your turn to force them to chain their spellbook of fate, making them banish something early, and then you can spam out the field. Let's say if you're playing something like Mermails and you have DD Crow in here, you can use your DD Crow, banish one of their spell cards. They're obviously going to chain the spellbook fate to the DD Crow, but if you have a hand that you can play out of that situation, which you should, then you'll be good. So DD Crow is for a versatile card. It also hits Dark World, because you know Dark World with Macrocosmos gone down to 1, Mind Drain going down to 1. DD Crow away that Grapha, you're good to go. And it also handles those pesky and sector players by DD Crow and their 1 Hornet, and you're good to go. All in all, DD Crow is a very versatile card. It's a hand drop, and I'm a very big fan of hand drops because they're unexpected. So, with that being said, DD Crow should definitely be you guys' side decks for this format. Next up is Fossil Dynamo. Like I told you guys before, Fossil Dynamo is my favorite card to side deck any format, because there's always going to be decks to special summon that spams out the field, whether it be frogs, whether it be synchro centric, XYZ centric, whatever. There's always going to be some deck or some guy trying to play some spam shit. And so, with that being said, Fossil Dynamo is always going to be there. Just set, they attack, and boom, blow up the damn field. Thirdly, I want to say XYZ Encore. For you guys know, XYZ Encore, this stop those. Anybody trying to play Evil Swarm is still a good deck, and I still think it's better than Dragon. So if you have a bad Evil Swarm matchup, XYZ Encore do the trick. Not to mention any overlay centric deck or XYZ centric deck, that you might run into it, let's say at your locals or anything. I mean, this is just a good card to have in your side deck. At 2, preferably I run 3, but 2 is manageable. I mean, I've seen a few people at YCS Toronto, a lot of the pros like Billy Break ran 2. This just ensures that you're gonna have a good time against decks like Dino Rabbit, Evil Swarms, Constellars, etc. So this is a must in my opinion. Also, forgot to mention, Fossil Dynamo is good. The decks Fossil Dynamo is good against right now is Mermails, Dragons, and those are the main ones. I would say Blackwing, but Blackwings can just beat you down real fast without even overlaying or synchroing. So, and Noble Knights too, because as far as I know, they synchro. I mean, they overlay a lot. So yeah. Prohibition. Prohibition is one of those cards that some people hate it, some people like it. I like it mainly because Prohibition, basically, as you guys already know, reads: select a card cannot be used. So decks like Blackwings select that. If I call Kalut, they can't ditch Kalut during the battle phase. Attack. Now you don't have to worry about it. So if their opening play is something like Black Whirlwind, summon my Blackwing monster, get the Kalut, set maybe one back row in turn, and you can just MST their back row, Prohibition Kalut game 2, attack over their Blackwing monster. They're going to have a hard time because now they can't use their main card. That really gives you their unfair momentum. It's also good against decks that are linear like Dark Worlds and Fire Kings. You call their boss monster, they can't bring their boss monster back, pretty much lose. And against Mermails, you can call their Abystias. So if you call it Abystias, Mermails really have no more plays. I mean, some Mermail players play Megalo, but after they ditch the 2 for the Megalo, they're not ditching Dragon. They don't have the Dragoons in their hand, they're pretty much fucked. So Prohibition is a really good card, in my opinion. It's just powerful, and it takes a lot of skill to play. So you just gotta know when the right time to play it, and you should be good to go. And finally, Trap Stun. Trap Stun is a card I love. This is DT Trap Stun, by the way. Mainly because against any troll deck, Trap Stun is going to be there to save your day. Also, Prohibition is good against those troll decks too, but I'll get to that in a second. Trap Stun, basically, flip it up. If for you guys that do not know what Trap Stun does, even though everyone does know what Trap Stun does, you chain it and negate the Trap Stun to chain. So basically, against Chain Burn, instead of chaining your Royal Decree to negate all the traps, you flip the Trap Stun at the end of the chain. Instead, they can't chain the MST to you, which is a very powerful play. So that way, if you set the Trap Stun and they try to they set their hand, you set the Trap Stun, and they not ready to set up yet, and then whenever they flip, you change your flip, negate the traps on the chain, you're good to go. It's also good against those. It's also good in this format because like it's a trap heavy format, guys. So if you're running a trap heavy deck and your opponent's running a trap heavy deck, so you want to go off more, and you know Heavy Storm is gone, you can flip your trap stun over on your turn, negate all traps on the field, then you can spam the field and go off. And then your opponent's gonna be in the shop because like they're not gonna expect that they're just gonna set their hand, just sit on their Mirror Force, Bottomless, Torrential, and Compulse and whatever, and you can just flip this up and say no to everything and go off with your Black Wings, your Mermaid deck, or whatever deck you play. So, and then Chain Burn obviously is good against that, like I just said it a second ago. And then against Final Countdown decks, they chain their Reckless Grease, you chain your Trap Stun, they chain anything, you chain Trap Stun. So Trap Stun is pretty good. Side deck choice, staple every format for me. Back to Prohibition. I forgot to mention Prohibition is good against those troll decks like Chain Burn and those troll decks like I just said it a minute ago too. Final Countdown. Mainly, you can call the Swift Scarecrows, you can call the Lava Golems, and they can't do anything. All in all, versatile cards. So Prohibition is a really good card siding into this format. Especially since it's so diverse, because the reason why I mainly picked these 5 cards, guys, these are all cards that can really be hit for multiple decks. So that's how you're going to win in this format with your side deck. You're not going to win just siding for one deck this format. You're going to have to win by siding for each card got to be able to be sided for multiple decks. So right here, this is for Evil Swarms, Constellars, Dino Rabbit. This is for Dark Worlds, Lavals, to some extension, Spellbooks. Any 1001 deck that spam, pick your pick. 2 different troll decks plus any trap heavy deck. And this is for any deck. It could be for Black Wings, it can be for Dark World, it can be for Spellbooks, Call Their Fate first turn. They can't do shit, so yeah, guys. So this is my top 5 most versatile cards for this format. Thumbs up this video if you liked it. Rate, comment, subscribe. Your boy 21, and I'm out.